Matt Ogus here, guys. Driving home from Lovano's place. We had an awesome time at the Arnold Classic. Shout out to everybody that we met there. Seriously, it was incredible. But the reason I'm making this video is in response to, well, you guys can read the title, right? I think it's best that you hear this coming straight from me rather than, forming your opinion or making decisions based on what other people are saying. So here it is, guys. I honestly was not planning on making this video. I didn't want to make this video. I never thought I'd have to make this video, but I think it's time. So here it goes. Might be a long video, but honestly, this is me spilling out for you guys, like who I am, who I was, who I want to be. Okay. So I think we have to kind of go in chronological order through time and to understand and to know where I'm coming from here. It's gonna be a story. This story starts pretty much when I started working out, right? I started working out at 15 and a half. By the time I was 16 and a half, I was like, damn, man, I'm making some pretty cool gains. I'm putting on some muscle. This is nice. Around that time, YouTube started to blow up. Everyone started to watch these funny ass videos on YouTube. Unforgivable. We'd watch these comedy videos. You'd watch skateboarding videos. You'd listen to songs on YouTube. And around this time, I was like, hey, I could use this as a tool to track my bodybuilding progress. Watch myself grow over time. So I started to put up videos just of me doing front, double biceps, back double biceps, that sort of stuff. And I'd send it to my folks in the Philippines, and also I'd use it as a tool to kind of track my own progress, and also so that one day I could go back in time and be like, damn, look how small I was, holy shit. So that's what I was doing. I was making these YouTube videos just for that purpose on my original account called Matt Ogus. And I think I started that, man, it was a long time ago. It might have been even 2005, but it was probably like 2006 that I started that YouTube channel, guys. And of course, YouTube has the YouTube comments, so I'd get all kinds of feedback, good, bad, trolling. Yes, there was trolling back in 2006. There still is today, of course. It's stronger than ever. But, most of the time, feedback was positive. Hey, you need to work on this muscle. Hey, you're looking better than last month, so and so on. Once in a while, I hear random things about, hey, do you have Skype? Or, hey, do you do camp shows? Or, hey, do you this and that? And at the time, of course, I had no clue what they were talking about. And most of the time, I didn't respond to anything. I just put videos up and kind of let it be. Plus, I wasn't getting too many comments as it was. Over time, got more views on that channel. It wasn't anything serious. I didn't know you could make money off YouTube. I didn't know it was possible. And plus, that was back when the partnership program was not even like there. So there really wasn't any money in YouTube. I was just putting these videos up for the hell of it. I wanted to watch myself grow. I remember working at KFC throughout high school. I remember getting that job like at age 16. 16, I worked there for over 2 years. So, graduated high school, I was still working at KFC. Lovely job. Can't say anything too bad about it. Of course, you had crazy customers once in a while, but, KFC chicken, they brought the grilled chicken in towards the end. I was taking so much of that home at night. Every once in a while, I bring home like 20, 30 chicken wings. We'd kick it with a girlfriend. We'd watch movies, tons of hot sauce, biscuits, just eating KFC, man. It was the best. But eventually I was like, dude, this is really cutting it. I don't know if I'd want to work here forever. I don't know if I'd work here throughout college because I wasn't getting too many hours, and plus the pay I was getting like just above minimum wage. So yeah, KFC was paying the bills, at least while I was in high school, for odds and ends. But I was like, this can't really cut it. At the same time, around that time, I think I started getting little small sponsorships through random people I didn't even know through YouTube. They watch my videos. They say, hey, I want to help you. Because I expressed my desire that I wanted to be a bodybuilder, or at least they could assume that I wanted to be a bodybuilder based on these videos of me flexing, to show my progress. So around that time, people were starting to hook me up with supplements. I think I probably made an Amazon wish list back then. Maybe I didn't yet, but But around the age of 18, people started to like just want to help me for some reason. Once in a while, you know, they would want picture updates, so I'd send picture updates, that sort of thing. And I made a couple bucks here and there, and I was like, hey man, this is pretty cool, I wonder where this can go. But anyways, still, it wasn't anything substantial. It was just people that wanted to help me out in my bodybuilding career. I quit my job at KFC and I got hired like exactly at the same time at McDonald's because they promised me much better hours than KFC. And I knew, you know, I'd have to have a little bit more money to afford college. My parents, they saved up, put money into a 529 plan, so there was money for college. So I wouldn't have to actually pay for it myself, but odds and ends, food, gas, that was going to be my responsibility. So worked at McDonald's for a short amount of time, but throughout the time I was working at McDonald's, you know, I really didn't enjoy working at McDonald's. I'll tell you right now, I did not enjoy it. I kind of felt like belittled every day for whatever reason. I mean, for you guys who work at fast food, maybe you can feel the sort of same way, or you could maybe you could agree with me on this point. But like working at fast food, I really felt belittled. I felt disrespected for some reason, like by the customers, by the system, and so on. I just felt so small, like just so, I don't know, like a piece of shit. You know, I literally felt like a piece of shit working there. I didn't want to work at that job anymore. Plus, at the same time, I was pledging for my fraternity at the time. So, you know, I had that going on, pledging for my fraternity. It was taking up a lot of time, or it seemed like it was going to take a lot of time, at least at the beginning, because I had to make meetings and that sort of stuff. So I didn't know how I was going to manage this job at McDonald's at the same time. And at the same time all this was happening, that's when I started to kind of experiment online, or at least find out about cam shows. What is a cam show? What is a flex show? For me, this is how it started, because believe me, I didn't just hop right in this whole crazy scene and just start, you know, demanding people to pay me. It was more like I was kind of, you know, walked into this sort of thing. You could say I was seduced, but I mean, it was partly my decision, but partly I was kind of taught how to make money online by the people I was making money from. So what was happening was, what happened through that original channel that I had, and maybe this was around the time I made my other channel called Flex for All, the original one, without any numbers on the end of it. I made this channel called Flex for All because I was like, okay, you know, it looks like people just want to sponsor me out of nowhere, so I might as well make a channel, a new channel, give myself a brand based on it. I was thinking business status back then, even in terms of this flexing for money thing. You know, I think I did my first flex show under the presumption that it was a update, you know, like an update video, like for my sponsor, so to speak. So I did did the mandatory poses for someone who I didn't know on Skype or Yahoo or whatever it was, and I made $50 in 10 minutes, and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. And it happened a few more times, right, through the week. So I was like, holy shit, I made $150 or whatever it might have been, $200, whatever, in less than a week. And it takes me, you know, a full week or multiple weeks to earn that at McDonald's, and I feel absolutely disrespected at McDonald's. I feel like a piece of shit. And I mean, as weird as this might seem, the whole flexing on camera for some dude, I don't even know who he is, what he's doing on the other side. I don't really care what he's doing, but I honestly felt better doing that than working at McDonald's for whatever reason. So I was like, hey, shit, let's see where this can go. And then within a week, I started putting more videos on that Flex for All channel. I don't think I was like promoting the hell out of it, but I was getting more people hitting me up on Skype, Yahoo, hitting me up about sponsoring me, quote unquote, but also hitting me up for flex shows, cam shows, just straight up, hey dude, can I get a cam show, can I get a flex show? And I'd be like, yeah dude, it's gonna be this much for 10 minutes, whatever. And then, I'd be getting on Skype, Yahoo, or whatever. I'd basically do mandatory poses, or I'd even just sit in my chair and take my shirt off and just flex biceps, which quite honestly is even less than, the absurdity of standing on stage in a pair of posing trunks. Yeah, of course, there's the sexual realm of it, what's the person doing on the other side, but coming from my point of view at the time, it was like, dude, I'm making money here. I'm making money. It's not taking a lot of time. I'm not hurting anyone. No one's getting hurt. I'm not doing anyone wrong. I'm not doing bad business because, you know, I'm agreeing with this person that this is what's going to happen, and then it happens, and the person's satisfied, I'm satisfied. So I saw it just like that, you know. And honestly, it wasn't really harmful. It was just me making a couple bucks here and there. That's how I saw it, guys. So over time, I eventually just quit McDonald's after like a few weeks of working there, especially because I needed time. I needed time to pledge for my fraternity and to go to school. And what helped me quitting McDonald's and picking up off this cam show thing. So I started doing cam shows. That's really what I started with. I was just doing cam shows here and there, maybe 1 or 2 a day. And going to college, pledging with my fraternity. It was taking a lot of my time. And eventually things started to escalate a little bit, right? Things started to escalate. I found out there was other ways I could make money as well. You know, I created an Amazon wish list because people started to buy things off that. People asked me, they're like, hey dude, you have an Amazon wish list? I was like, I created one, threw a bunch of stuff on it, and people once in a while would buy stuff, or sponsors would buy stuff. And it was cool. You know, people hooked me up with protein, pre-workout supplements, that sort of thing. And I think maybe 6 months into this whole cam show thing, people started saying, hey dude, you do private videos. Do you do private videos? And in my head, I was like, no, I only do, you know, flex shows. That's what I call them, flex shows. Cam shows just sounded gay. As weird as that might sound coming from my mouth, but I was like, yeah, flex shows, that doesn't sound gay at all. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't do private videos. What do you even want in these private videos? And once in a while, here's one you guys might laugh about. This guy, and no disrespect to anyone who I may be talking about in these videos. I'm not going to say any names, that sort of thing, but I had a guy who loved to watch me eat. First, I think he watched me eat on camera, and he'd watch me eat, you know, a couple hamburgers without my shirt on, and that was his thing. That's just what he wanted. That's what he paid me to do. Then he was like, hey dude, you know, I want to watch you eat, like, what do you think is a lot of food? I was like, hey, what if I try to eat like 2 Chipotle burritos? Seriously. So I went and bought 2 Chipotle burritos, whipped out the camera, and this was going to be our first private video. And you know, he gave me like $100 to shoot like a 5-10 minute video of me eating 2 burritos. And believe me, I was stuffed as hell. So I was like, dude, all right, this is what a private video is. You know, someone sends their request of a video, I make it, they give me money. Okay, it doesn't seem too harmful, whatever. At the same time, I was like, yeah, I do realize that this is a video, and I'm going to be emailing it to them, and they will have it forever. And I mean, I hope they don't do anything with this video. Like, I hope they don't send this to my mom or to whoever. That didn't even come across my mind, you know, that they might do something like that. Excuse me. So I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? I'm eating hamburgers, or that was another challenge. I ate like 10 Burger King hamburgers. There's multiple of these food eating challenges. I mean, people like that stuff. Other video requests started coming in, different types, not just of me flexing. I got those all the time, me doing mandatory poses. I did plenty of those kind of videos, plenty of those kind of cam shows. But things started to travel into other directions, different niches, different themes, different topics. Like some people wanted to watch me flex with the camera on the ground pointed up, like as if I was a giant. I was like, fuck it. How hard is that, you know? How hard is it to hit mandatory poses, get paid $100 for like a 10-minute video? So I was doing this all the time. I was doing these cam shows, I was doing these videos, putting these videos online, sending them via email, whatever it might have been. And of course, things escalated further. Next thing you know, I'm making videos like you might have seen that video of me like spitting on my biceps. You know, spitting on my biceps, kiss my biceps. People wanted these different things, like, hey dude, can you do this? And you know, I'd weigh it out, I'd be like, no, that's just too fucking crazy. Or I'd be like, all right, you know, I could all right, I could do that, fine, and I get paid for it. That's kind of how it was. It wasn't like, fuck yeah, today I feel like sniffing my feet. Who wants to watch me sniff my feet today? Or, you know, it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna blow up some balloons and flex next to them. Who wants to watch? It was like, you know, I was getting these requests through Skype, email, etc. And I was fulfilling these requests. You can say I was fulfilling these dudes' fantasies all across the world. And yes, most of these people were dudes. That's just the way it is. There were a few girls in there. Yeah, there were. But at the time, you know, you're probably wondering, how was I comfortable with doing this, like exposing my sexuality, my body, etc. I really wasn't. It didn't feel like I was hurting my body. I didn't feel like I was disrespecting myself. Didn't feel any of that stuff. Of course, I wouldn't want like my girlfriend's parents to see this stuff. But even when it came to my parents, they knew what I was doing. You know, I told them, I did it in front of them. I was doing cam shows in front of them. I was shooting videos in front of them. Like they understood that I was. They probably didn't see it in this kind of like very sexual way. They just saw it as me making videos. But you know, they didn't really have an issue with it. But of course, you know, I wouldn't want like the principal or my teacher to watch these videos. They might develop an opinion. But my parents, they just saw it as, okay, that's my son and he's doing what he's doing. I love him no matter what. You know, if he's gonna make money this way, so be it. Hopefully he doesn't cross any sort of line where he gets like butt naked and jacks off in front of the camera or something like that. Things escalate even more. And like I said before, I wasn't in search of these niches. Like, they were like brought to me through these YouTube videos I put up as advertisement, like fresh out the shower flexing or whatever. That was an idea. I was like, you know what, this might bring me more cam shows. This might bring me more video requests. And it definitely did at the time. So I made that video. You guys probably seen that one. You Myron? And I was getting tons of business. I was making money. I was paying my way through odds and ends that I had to pay. And I was in college, living kind of like a fast life, you could say. And I wasn't hurting anyone. I was minding my own business, doing my own thing. Definitely, I wasn't looking for the future. I wasn't looking at what might happen in the future. I wasn't looking at the consequences. I wasn't thinking, like, you know, how may this affect me a few years down the line? I was kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna make this video, make this money, and a small part of me really hopes that this shit doesn't get out there, or, you know, people don't put this online or spread me around. I had no desire to be, I had no intention of me getting into what YouTube fitness community, if you call it that, or what I do nowadays, you know, make these YouTube videos to help people, Legends of Aesthetics, all that stuff. None of this existed. All I was doing was I was going through college, paying my way through it, and just living life in the moment. I wasn't looking at the future. Yeah, things got even more escalated. I learned about more crazy ass niches online where I could make money. I mean, people were telling me like, hey dude, call me a faggot. And I was like, in my mind I was like, dude, that's fucked up. Really? They're like, dude, I will fucking pay you to call me that word. People were like, I will pay you to do this. I will pay you to do that. All these different things I was being requested to do. And I was like, at first, I honestly tried to hold off as long as possible for all these different things. Even for the cam shows, I was like, I don't want to do it. But as soon as I did it, I was like, dude, I can make hella money like this? What? And that's kind of how it was with this whole, you might have seen a video where I straight up call people the PHAGGOT word, the F word, or whatever you might call it, which is definitely demeaning and insulting to homosexuals, obviously. I don't go around calling homosexuals this word. In fact, I have an equal respect for homosexuals and heterosexuals. But yeah, people were paying me to call them faggot. People were paying me to say things like, hey, you're a piece of shit. So I just did that, you know? I was making money, making videos, or doing this on live cam shows saying, hey dude, you're a bitch. Pay me. People were paying me to do this shit. They were paying me. It wasn't me bullying anyone. That might be some people's perception of this. What it more so was like a supply and demand thing. People were demanding this, and I was supplying it. And the money was great. I was making money off of it, so I didn't see any harm. And I did not expect things to get out of control. And of course, I got deeper and deeper. You know, I made a website where I was selling these videos. I was constantly making YouTube videos with this stuff out there. And I wouldn't say that I loved doing it. I could tolerate doing it. I was not like, wake up in the morning thinking, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do 20 flex shows today. Or hell yeah, I'm gonna make 13 private videos, can't wait, seriously. It was like, all right, today I want to make $100, and how am I going to do that? All right, I'll do it by doing this. I'll take these opportunities to make this money, and so on. And honestly, most of this money I was just blowing on like freaking Chipotle, anyways. But that's a different story. I was just making money. I was making money, and I loved it. I didn't love what I was doing to make the money, but I loved the money that I was making. Does that make sense? So that's that. I mean, that's that, guys. I did not expect a lot of this stuff to come out like it did. I didn't expect people to want to destroy me like they are. You know, they have their reasons. I'm not gonna judge them, but over time, it got really old. It started to get really old, and especially I started to think, all right, do I want to be doing this for years? Is this something I want to be doing for a long time? At the same time, I started to get into fitness videos where I was like, wow, people are asking me questions on how I can help them attain their fitness goals, how to build muscle, how to gain weight, all this stuff. And of course, I was a dumbass in the beginning. I didn't even know nutrition left and right. My bulking style was eat as much oats, tuna, and almonds as possible, but I wanted to help people, and there was the demand for that in my videos, and I was supplying it, and I actually enjoyed that. You know, I enjoyed making workout videos. I enjoyed talking about, hey dude, this is how you lose fat, or this is how you lift weights, whatever it might be. And I started to get less and less, I started to tolerate cam shows less and less. All these crazy fetishes that people wanted me to fulfill for them, all these fantasies they wanted me to fulfill, like balloons. People get turned on by balloons, guys. I don't judge them because I understand it now. Balloonosexual or something like that. But people, there are real life human beings, and of course you can't respect pedophiles because that's a sexuality. But I mean, if it ain't hurting anyone, like a dude getting turned on by a balloon, I mean, power to him. So I didn't see too much hurt in it, you know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but anyways, like I was saying a little bit before, I stopped liking what I was doing. I started to feel kind of that feel like I was working at McDonald's. I was like, damn, dude, I'm not doing what I love. Yeah, I'm getting money for doing this. I'm making excellent money. I'm making incredible amounts of money while I'm in school, but it's not something that I see myself doing down the road. Like, I do not want to be 30 years old doing cam shows. Like, I saw people online that were doing that. I was like, damn, man, do they really want to do this forever? I know they're probably making excellent money, and believe me, people are making incredible amounts of money. I was making a just unbelievable amount of money compared to what I thought I could make when I started, especially compared to working at McDonald's or KFC. I was making a ton of money by doing what I was doing, these flex shows and these private videos and whatnot, and fulfilling these dudes' fantasies and whatnot. I mean, I was making a lot of money, but it started to get old. Like, I seriously, I didn't want to be doing this forever. Did not at all. And I started to definitely grow this passion for actually wanting to help people in terms of bodybuilding, fitness, nutrition, that sort of thing. And around the time that I started, in 2011, when I started to prep underneath 3D Muscle Journey, around that time was when I basically decided, I was like, dude, I have to find a different way to make money. and I was like, wow, I think I might actually be able to make money through YouTube itself, you know, through the AdSense system, through the partnership system. I'll be able to do something that I love doing, and I mean, hopefully, if I work hard enough, I'll be able to make a substantial living. I mean, I might be able to pay for my odds and ends. I mean, keep in mind in the beginning, you know, everyone on YouTube makes like 2 cents a month. You know, they make like, it goes from 2 cents to 30 cents to 50 cents. I mean, you make jack shit. As soon as I started making like 20 bucks, I was like, damn, man, maybe I can go somewhere with this. And then it was like 100 bucks. I was like, wow, you know, this hard work is paying off. And at the same time, I wanted an out from doing all the freaking cam shows and all this stuff that wasn't really something I wanted to do in the long run. I started to see that there was potential for, okay, there's potential for me to perhaps get YouTube partnership and to make bodybuilding and fitness like my niche. Like, that's why I was trying so hard for the YouTube partnership thing. For the YouTube partnership thing back in summer 2011. When I got YouTube partnership, you guys saw it on video. I posted it a long time ago. 2011 summer, I was ecstatic. Not just because, hey, I could finally stop doing these cam shows and these private videos, which, I mean, I could tolerate it, but it wasn't something I loved doing. It wasn't something that I saw myself doing in the long run. But I could make a living doing something I love doing, you know. I could actually make money and build and control, you know, how much money I make via my creativity and how hard I work through the YouTube partnership system. And slowly I started to taper off one. You know, I started to taper off the cam shows, and my YouTube income started to go up as I worked harder and harder and put more effort and energy and creativity into that. And you guys noticed I started posting tons of YouTube videos at that point when I became a YouTube partner. And I basically started, I stopped advertising for my Flex for All account, which was like my hey guys, do you want a cam show or private video account? You know, it was like my advertisement for that other side of what I was doing. And I still did cam shows for quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, but it was probably late 2011. Where at that point, I think I took all those videos down. All those videos that advertised, you know, the cam shows and stuff, I took all those videos down. There was a day that came along where I was like, fuck it, I've had enough. Like, this is the day. I'm not even making enough money on YouTube partnership itself. I wasn't. I was probably making a few $100s a month, whereas, you know, I was making substantially more than that through Flex shows. But I was like, dude, this is the time. I have to stop right now, or else who knows if I'll be able to stop doing these cam shows. So I stopped. I was only making like $300 through YouTube a month. And I was like, dude, if I put up enough energy, I will be able to double this like every freaking month through YouTube. I'll be able to double this. I'll be able to make 600 next month, you know, 800. Eventually, I'll be making, you know, 1,000. That would be crazy, wouldn't it, Matt? I was telling myself, like, you have to do this. You can't be doing this fucking cam show shit forever. These private videos forever. So that's basically what I did. I just stopped advertising it. And I didn't cut off, you know, the people I was doing these cam shows for immediately. I was still doing cam shows. They still contacted me for them. Believe me, guys, this wasn't a push advertisement system. It was a pull advertisement system. I was going out of my way and saying, hey, dude, you want a cam show? I was, you know, just signing on. People were hitting me up. So I kind of milked that out for as long as I felt comfortable. Like, I was still in the conversion phase, going from cam shows and private videos to full-time YouTube. So for a few more months in 2011, I was still doing cam shows. Eventually, I stopped doing private videos completely, and eventually, I stopped doing these cam shows completely. And went to, you know, I just went all in on this YouTube thing, and it's been my dream. It's been what I've been doing ever since. And yeah, that's kind of the story of my whole cam show thing, guys. This whole story of this, what some people are calling Gay4Pay kind of thing. You know, it's kind of funny because that's probably not the right word, Gay4Pay. It's more like, you know, cam show for pay or weird for pay or... Okay guys, I'm back again. My battery died yesterday. I'll try to cover what I think I left out of that first part of the video. So yeah, just to clarify some things, like at least the main points that people have been contacting me about. First and foremost, these videos were made in the past, so it was definitely a mistake that I made in the past throughout 2009, 10, even 2011. Yes, even in 2011. So that's that. And 2012, 2013, that hasn't been happening. And I'm a changed person. I don't do that stuff anymore. It's not what I do. It's not what I like to do. It's not what I want to do. So if anyone thinks that, you know, I'm still doing whatever it might be, cam shows, videos, what people call Gay4Pay, whatever you might think I might be doing, I'm not doing any of that stuff currently. So that's that. And also some people sounded concerned in some of these videos that got leaked. You know, I'm talking to the camera, and people are assuming that I'm talking to like my YouTube subscribers or my fan base or whoever. But in reality, I made a lot of these videos private and or unlisted on YouTube for a select group of people, for an actual specific niche of people. And it got out, as you guys know. And people think that, one, it's me now, or me really recently, like just last year, when it's not. It's me way in the past. And they also think I'm talking directly to them, the subscribers, the fans, etc. And I'm not. You know, I'm talking. I was talking to a paying audience, you could say. I'm not talking to you guys. I never treat people like that who didn't. I mean, I don't treat people like shit. I don't. But I did it in the context of being paid to do so. At least for a couple of videos that you may have seen. May have done some really weird shit, said some weird shit, done some shit. But those were videos that I was either paid to do so or trying to attract business of that nature. So hopefully that explains it. What I did was crazy, weird, effed up. I mean, all for money, you know, for money. Kind of personally, I'm not the kind to be afraid or embarrassed to do a lot of different things, but of course, I'm embarrassed for people that I care about to be associated with it. For people who have nothing to do with it but are friends with me, for them to be associated with it. That's not what I want. So that's why I made this video, to clear things up and to basically say what I did in the past, and to say that that shit ain't gonna be happening in the future. It hasn't happened in a long time. I don't do that stuff. So yeah, so I hope everyone kind of listens to this, hears this, moves on. You know, I'm getting a lot of crazy messages and that sort of stuff. But really, I apologize to the people who look up to me, and this may have, you know, changed the way you see me. You know, I apologize to those people, because what you may have seen, that's not who I am currently. That's not who I am today. You guys know who I am today. I think you guys can see my character, or at least the character I portray currently. You know who I really am. And if you've met me in real life, you really know who I am, hopefully. And you could, I don't know, vouch that I'm not the person in those videos that you may have seen, those videos that have been leaked around the internet. So that's that, guys, the official response to this whole Gay4Pay shit. So that's what happened in the past. Moved on. Life's different. Changed. Let's squash this shit. Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening to me. Take care. My final word to especially the youngsters out there.
Follow what you love. Follow what you are interested in, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about. In terms of hobbies, in terms of careers, do what you love doing, and don't let the pursuit of money drive what you do. Because right here, I'm the guy who did that. As you can see, I did that. I put money first, and you can see that it bit me in the ass. Okay, it definitely bit me in the ass. So let your passions, what you love doing, come first, and everything will just work out perfectly. Okay, that's my takeaway for this, guys. Do what you love doing. And it's never too late to change. It's never too late to follow your dreams. Never too late to recreate yourself, to rebrand yourself, to do whatever you really want to do. All right, that's it, guys. Judge me how you want. This is who I am. What the hell else can I say? Love you guys. Peace.